Did y'all just see what we just watched? Because the courtroom didn't just break order, it broke the internet. Camron, cocky as ever, genuinely laughed out loud in court as Jim Jones' own son startled the whole chamber by screaming, "Standing with Chrissy Lampkin." Yes, the same Chrissy Lampkin Mama Jones warned was the ruin of the whole Dipset dynasty. The lady at the center of leaked USB drives, judicial slaps, and whispered betrayals. And now Jim Jones' kid has just reversed the storyline like a VH1 reunion gone nuclear. So what does Camron know that has him smirking like he just saw the end of a soap opera he secretly produced? Why is Jim Jones sitting in startled silence while his bloodline supports the one lady his family pledged to kill? And most crucially, what fresh recorded text or treachery is likely to surface next? Because trust us, this isn't just courtroom mayhem. This is a dynasty unraveling in real time. And the cameras buckle up, because what just happened inside that courthouse isn't just history, it's reality TV treason. Let's dig in. So imagine this: hardwood flooring, court stenographer, tapping fast, and the sound of heels clicking down the aisle like it's a Love and Hip Hop reunion special. Not a courtroom, but this wasn't just any day in court, sir. This was the day Harlem's hip hop dynasty blew wide open. Why? Because Camron stepped there with a smirk and Jim Jones' son. He stood up for Chrissy like it was prom night and she just got elected queen. Let's backtrack. We already know the courthouse has been the hub of a dipet catastrophe movie ever since Mama Jones went full WWE and threw pumped Chrissy Lampkin across the face. We saw Chrissy Lampkin take out that strange USB drive like it was her final Uno card. Camron was leaking leaks like mixtapes, and Mama Jones was launching stuff with her. Lucky it was only a slap. But this new development, oh baby, it's a narrative twist nobody saw coming, because Jim Jones' son, let's call him Junior for now, was meant to be the neutral party, the next-gen successor to Harlem's hip-hop tradition. The one who'd remain out of the mess, tricked it out. But now he marched into the courtroom, head held high, and informed the judge on record that Chrissy Lampkin had been the only real one in the room the entire time. Cam leaned back, arms folded, smirking not a bit. Smile a full-on, "I knew this was coming and I prepared snacks" grin. Let's break this down. According to our anonymous source sitting 2 rows behind the defense bench, Junior sought a voluntary statement at the pre-trial hearing. The judge, who was already over the circus, gave a hesitant assent, and Junior stood up, turned to the room, and stated, "I'm not going to keep watching everyone trash the only person who has ever had my father's back." Gasps loud, gasps. One reporter dropped her pen. Mama Jones allegedly remarked, "He's indoctrinated." Chrissy didn't flinch, just inclined her head as if she knew something was coming. Keep in mind that this is the same courtroom where Camron's leaked tape accused Chrissy Lampkin of being a double agent sharing information from within the family. Something is the same courtroom where Mama Jones nearly threw hands, in the same courtroom where we believed Chrissy was trapped. So, why would Jim's own son support Chrissy's side? Insiders claimed Junior and Chrissy Lampkin had been privately speaking, according to one leaked communication, which was supposedly screenshotted from a burner WhatsApp discussion. Junior told Chrissy Lampkin that "Mama's going to attempt to bury you with falsehoods." That right there. Proof of internal treachery, the sort that turns a family conflict into a full-fledged civil war. And if that wasn't messy enough, there's more. Courtroom records filed only days before the hearing, it was discovered that Junior had asked access to the contents of Chrissy's USB drive, not to defend her, but to check what was on it before it got public. Shake Harlem, and he needed to know which side of the explosion he wanted to be on. Turns out Chrissy Lampkin had receipts. Allegedly, the USB contains voice notes from Mama Jones discussing fake property ventures using Jim's name, and camera footage of her passing over cash-stuffed envelopes to known Dipset connections. And brace yourselves, text messages that imply Camron knew the slap was coming and instructed Chrissy to bring proof. Yes, you heard it right. Camron and Chrissy Lampkin weren't enemies at all, but friends. Silent collaborators in a protracted scam to expose Mama Jones for controlling Jim's company like some sick matriarch in a hip-hop version of Game of Thrones. And Junior, he's finally selecting sides during his trial statement. Junior also claimed he overheard his grandmother, Mama Jones, planning with a VH1 producer to reverse the storyline and present Chrissy as unstable. According to they had planned to distribute modified film and resuscitate Mama's image while turning Chrissy Lampkin into a villain. The judge was allegedly astonished. The room was dead silence save for Camron, who let out a loud sarcastic "Wow, crazy world, huh?" Bafe cracked a smile. Now let's talk responses, because the internet did what it usually does, and #Team Chrissy started trending again. Twitter users tweeted footage of Junior and Chrissy Lampkin on previous episodes of Love and Hip Hop. Claimed he always looked at her as a second mom. Memes filled Instagram. One popular video showed Camron nodding in court overlaid with the words, "When you knew the tapes were heat," and brought popcorn instead of a lawyer. Not everyone was laughing. A prominent Mama Jones follower and former Dipset manager made a now-deleted tirade on Facebook, calling Junior a traitor to the throne and accused Chrissy Lampkin of manipulating a guy who doesn't know what genuine devotion looks like. That rage was uploaded. Because supporters are split and the war lines are hardening now, here's where things get more uglier. After court broke for lunch, Junior was observed going out with Chrissy. Not Jim Jones, not his team, not even neutral with Chrissy side by side. One camera recorded her muttering something to him. Fans are still trying to lip-read it like it's the Zapruder film. Mama Jones ran out the back door, reportedly shrieking into her phone. "Tell them it's fake. All of it, she's playing y'all." Even TMZ couldn't keep up. A spokeswoman for Jim Jones eventually released a dubious message to the press saying Jim Jones' focus is on peace, not petty. He loves his family and wants the drama to stay off the record. Translation: Jim Jones is shivering in his timberlands because if his kid is siding with Chrissy Lampkin, Camron is crumbling. Up in court, and Mama Jones is losing grasp on the Dipset narrative. Then this family empire is disintegrating from the inside out, and Chrissy isn't sobbing anymore. She's winning quietly, tactically, and in heels. But hold up, we're not even close to the last twist, because just as court reconvened and the judge ordered everyone back into session, a fresh file was entered into evidence. A file that Chrissy didn't bring. A file that wasn't part of the USB. According to our sources, it came directly from Camron's legal team. Just when you thought the room couldn't get any tenser, Jim Jones leaned forward, locked eyes with the judge, and spoke the one remark that changed the guests' audible gasps. Even the stenographer halted her typing for a second. One of the baifs coughed like he choked on his own spit. It was the type of moment that transforms a courtroom into viral. TikTok in seconds. Mama Jones, you could clearly see the steam rising off her wig. She grabbed her pearls literally and screamed something so venomous that the woman sitting next to her actually swapped seats. Stop, because if you've been following this Harlem soap opera since the start, you know Jim's son has never publicly taken a side. He's remained neutral, invisible, conveniently out of frame whenever family drama made headlines. But now he's front and center in a courtroom defending the exact woman his grandmother believed was a traitor to the family lineage. Let's break down what just happened. According to court transcripts leaked within minutes, Jim's son not only backed Chrissy, but also accused Mama Jones for orchestrating a smear campaign. Also stated, Chrissy Lampkin was attempting to shield Jim Jones from financial ruin, from litigation, and from others. Camron sat in the back row, as if he were in a snickering from his box seat at a Broadway play. The man pulled out a bag of peanut M&Ms, stuck one in his mouth, and said the most annoying "well damn" anybody has ever heard in a legal situation. Let's not to forget, it was Cam's leaked recordings that prompted this entire courtroom collapse. And now he's watching everything unfold like a villain in a Tyler Perry finale. Is this petty? Yes. Is it strategic? Absolutely, because long after Jim Jones' son made his statement, guess who passed a manila envelope across the defense table? Chrissy's sis came prepared like Olivia Pope, with receipts. The court asked her to elaborate, and Chrissy Lampkin stood calm, cool, and calculated. She stated, "I've kept my lips closed for years to protect this family. But since the court appears to be unclear about who is betraying whom, let us make it clear." And boom, out poured the receipts, emails, banking documents, bank transactions, reportedly proving Mama Jones had built up a side company utilizing Jim's likeness and brand without his knowledge. And here's the kicker. It was all traced back to a New Jersey warehouse that already made news during a 2019 Dipet affiliate raid. Remember the story about phantom contracts and unregistered real estate ventures? Yeah, same building. But wait, it gets nasty. Chrissy Lampkin didn't just bring paperwork, she also provided an audio tape. And if you believed the recording played over the courtroom speaker, like a mixtape debut, supposedly caught a phone call between Mama Jones and a notorious Harlem fixer. You weren't prepared for what happened next. In the footage, a person says, "If Chrissy keeps digging, bury her and make it public." Now, listen, we are not sure if the voice was truly Mama Jones, but the room acted. People gasped so hard you'd think Beyoncé had just stepped in. One lady fainted. The judge ordered a 10-minute recess. Camron got up, clapped once, and muttered, "Plot twist." Meanwhile, social media was already melting. Hashtag Chrissy and Zard started trending on Twitter. TikTok investigators began voice matching the leaked audio against previous reality show recordings. And one genius produced a thorough breakdown using waveform. The investigation concluded, yep, that's Mama Jones. Same breathing pattern, same accent, same energy, and while all this was going on, Jim Jones was still a ghost, with no presence or statement. A solitary Instagram story shows a candle burning with the caption, "Pray for the truth." Cryptic, gloomy, pointless back in court. Mama Jones' lawyer sought that the tape be rejected since it was unconfirmed origins, but the prosecution wasn't having it. They sought a study into the contents of Chrissy's USB drive, and the judge agreed. A full forensic review was ordered. This is when things really heat up. Across the street from the courtroom, a throng of Chrissy Lampkin supporters began gathering. They were armed with homemade placards, t-shirts with her face on them, and bespoke foam fingers that proclaimed one daughter in law.foldable, chairs and printed booklets on family treachery. The two sides battled like it was the versus fight of the decade. Police had to build up barriers, and somewhere amid the mayhem, someone played Cameron's old disc track. Harlem was lighted via a megaphone, and the drama inside that courthouse had only just began. Jim's son wasn't done talking, so he took up a handwritten letter, apparently from Jim Jones himself. Dated 2 weeks before the original, the letter, which he read aloud, includes statements like, "I don't know who to trust anymore. Chrissy Lamp might be my only anchor in this mess. Tell my mother to quit behaving like she's everything is under his authority." You could hear a pin drop. Mama Jones started fumbling with her jewelry like she was ready to hurl them. Her legal team murmured frantically. Chrissy just leaned back in her chair, arms crossed, cool as a cucumber, marinated in revenge. Camron now chewing gummy worms. The judge eventually had enough. He announced that owing to tremendous public interest, probable criminal ramifications, and social media turmoil, the case would now require closed-door hearings. Cameras were barred. Cell phones were taken. Even the court sketch artist was booted out, but it was too late. The world already had the narrative. Within hours, the whole transcript of Jim's son's speech leaked, followed by pirated audio of the courtroom tape published on Telegram, YouTube, and any dodgy Discord server the internet could find. Reaction videos poured in, and hashtags were everywhere. Team Chrissy and Team Mama Jones jokes were flying faster than Nicki and Cardi subs on Twitter by bedtime. Camron published an Instagram post, black background, white text, "I told y'all, devotion." Above legacy, no caption, no tags, just vibes and pandemonium. Chrissy Lampkin went live for exactly 24 seconds. With no makeup or filters, simply looking direct into the camera and said, "I kept the files. I maintained the quiet, but I won't keep accepting the guilt." And then she logged off, as someone claiming to be a former Dipset tour manager began publishing what they termed the Chrissy Lampkin Chronicles. A line of claims involving financial mismanagement, staged fights, and hush money dating back to 2013. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter. People are gobbling it up like hot wings in a hurricane. The issue on everyone's mind now is if Jim's kid is siding with Chrissy Lampkin, and Jim's own comments imply doesn't trust Mama Jones, who truly oversees the Jones legacy. And with court now shut down, the next bombshell needs to come from outside. Because if there's one thing Harlem has taught us, it's that secrets don't stay buried. Especially not. Chrissy Lampkin was still holding more data. And guess what? That USB wasn't even the only one. Late that night, while Harlem was still debating in Instagram comments and YouTubers were live broadcasting themselves reading court, another anonymous Twitter user dropped something that made the entire internet stop scrolling. A second USB, or rather leaked contents from what's now being termed the shadow drive. This one way worse. There are undercover recordings of private talks between Jim Jones and Mona Scott. Emails indicating that VH1 executives were crafting narratives to portray Chrissy as insane. And a purported contract where Mama Jones was promised a consulting producer credit in return for pushing Chrissy out of the franchise. Yes, you read it correctly. According to the leak, Mama Jones was part of a clandestine plot to remove Chrissy Lampkin from every future love and hip-hop project, and it didn't end with TV emails hinted at blackballing her from brand negotiations, cutting her out of Dipet, connected clothing lines, and even ruining her real estate ventures. This wasn't simply a quarrel. A full-fledged murder of a woman's career, and the receipts were too good to ignore. Fans were immediately analyzing font styles, information, and timestamps like they were in a courtroom version of CSI. TikTok attorneys were sewing the papers and breaking it down frame by frame. One girl even submitted a PowerPoint presentation titled The Fall of the Jones Dynasty, Betrayal in 3 parts. In the midst of all this, Camron was still smiling. Released another video from Dubai, this time laying in an infinity pool, sipping orange juice, and stating some of y'all really thought Chrissy was the villain. Y'all owe that woman an apology. Meanwhile, VH1 was in complete panic mode. Internal sources indicated emergency meetings were being organized to discuss damage control. A Condi's letter was purportedly sent to Twitter, but it was too late. The files had already been copied, downloaded, and inserted in 50 other threads. Secret group conversations and YouTube videos with titles like Chrissy's Revenge, Mama Jones exposed. But let's get back to Chrissy Lampkin, because while the internet was debating over which side to take, Sis was already making her next move. 8:30 a. The next morning, a verified Instagram account, branded as Chrissy Official PR, issued a message that sent jaws to the floor. There's always been a distinction between loyalty and quiet. Chose silent, expecting the truth would defend itself, but now y'all can hear it loud and clear. Attached a 3-minute voice note reportedly of Jim Jones himself. In it, you can hear a man whose voice sounds suspiciously like Jim's complaining to someone. Tone discusses how his mother rallied the entire crew against Chrissy Lampkin, how Cam knew more than he was supposed to, and how he felt he was losing control of the Dipset heritage to a bunch of furious old heads with personal agendas. The audio was not perfectly clear, but it didn't have to be. Fans were immediately dissecting every breath as if it were a Grammy performance. One TikToker claimed to hear Mona's voice faintly in the background, stating, "We need fresh blood. Chrissy's tale is weary." Whether it was genuine or not, it didn't matter. The audience believed it, and that perception shifted the entire attitude overnight, because now the same individuals they were dragging Chrissy 2 weeks ago were suddenly hailing her. The Harlem Harriet Tubman of reality TV people claimed she emancipated herself from the chains of dubious contracts, family manipulation, and character assassination. Even Cardi B. But if Chrissy Lampkin held it down through all that and presented proof, she earned her own program, period. Now let's speak Fallout. Mama Jones, after days of mysterious Facebook messages and subtweets, became radio silent. Not a selfie, wig review, or even a shared meme, and that's when folks realized something significant was either going to break or she was in hiding. Then came the leaked medical papers. Yes, a documento apparently, revealing Mama Jones had been placed into a private Manhattan institution for hypertension, stress, trauma only days after the courtroom slap. Some admirers offered sympathy, but others didn't hold back. Stated funny how she was strong enough to slap Chrissy but too fragile when the receipts hit. Brutal, but Jim's son, he doubled down. In a surprise clubhouse room that maxed out in 3 minutes, he revealed, "Fans, y'all only saw half the story. I was raised to protect family, but family got to protect you too. Chrissy Lampkin has been holding my dad down," while folks around the audience went silent, because this wasn't just one kid's side with a stepmother. It represented a generational shift in devotion, a rejection of manipulation, and a public comment that sometimes the truth comes from the guy everyone attempted to quiet. Jim Jones ultimately broke the hush on the breakfast club of all, sitting across from Charlemagne. Jim Jones, who appeared fatigued yet controlled, remarked, "I adore my mother, always will, but something should not have occurred. Some things got revealed, and I ain't ready to discuss yet, but Chrissy, I didn't deserve all that." It wasn't much. However, it was sufficient to influence public opinion. Opinion quiet the storm. Dare we suggest set the stage for rebuilding? Rebuilding the Dipset legacy. Family.